What's going on, everybody? I'm Jason. This is Tennessee Mountain Homestead, and today we're going to be talking about chainsaws and the parts that wear out on them. In particular, my chainsaw. I've got this Stihl MS271. It's got a 20-inch bar on it, and this chainsaw is well used. It's cut down at least a dozen trees, and I've changed the blade over the years. I think I've had it about 3.5 years so far. I've changed the blade on this thing plenty of times. I've sharpened it. I have all kinds of sharpening implements that I've used over time. But I've noticed lately it's getting really bad, and I think it's the bar. So I think what's going on with this chainsaw is that the bar is wore out. I got a whole new batch of parts. I got a new bar I just got a little while ago. I got a new chain, but this chain is essentially new. I've only cut, it might have a half hour on it. But before we go changing any parts, we're gonna take this thing outside and I'm gonna demonstrate what's going on with it. All right guys, so we're set up out here. This is the old bar and a semi-used chain, but it's pretty much new. I'm gonna go ahead and demonstrate what happens here. Alright guys, so as you can see, I tried to keep this thing straight, but it just wants to wander, it wants to curve. And it's not even cutting at a slant. You can see it's kind of like cutting it at a dip, as a concave shape to it. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna switch this thing out. We're gonna come back and try it again. Alright guys, we're back in the shop. You just saw me cutting that log out there, and no matter with my best efforts to hold it straight, it just wants to curve when I'm cutting it. And yet last night I was cutting an even harder log. I think it might have been hickory, and it was cutting at an angle and then change. It was bad. It was like getting the bar was getting stuck in the log. So anyways, I know it's noisy out there. Besides the saw running, there's a bunch of construction equipment running across the street. But we're gonna go ahead and start taking this thing apart. I've got the Stihl chainsaw tool. That's all you need to get the bar and chain off of it. On my particular saw, it's just two nuts right here. There's the cover. And here's the bar and chain. Now I first noticed this thing was acting strange quite a while ago. But I think what's going on is, you can see it got hot a while back. And you can see the color difference in the steel. I don't know if that broke the temper, but what my suspicions are is that this groove where the chain rides in has opened up over time. And now the chain can rock back and forth in there, because even with a brand new chain on this, sometimes you touch it to the log and it won't even start cutting. It just kind of skates on it. It's weird. And then you'll feel it bite and it'll cut good, but it cuts crooked. So we're gonna go ahead and unbox the new bar. That's a perfect fit. It lines up with the little stud right there. It's the same as the old one. It's a 20-inch bar, by the way. And we're gonna get the chain unboxed and we'll be right back. Okay, so we're gonna scratch that. We're not gonna use the brand new chain just yet. This is the chain we were just using, but this chain is relatively new. Shouldn't need to be sharpened yet. So we're gonna put that right back on the chainsaw. Put the cover on there. Just gonna finger tighten these nuts right here so it can't fall back apart. Now we're going to adjust our chain tension. Now I'm going to tighten up these nuts with this tool. And it doesn't need to be gorilla tight. All right, I'm happy with that. Let's take this thing back outside and try it again and see what happens. All right, here we go again. All right, let's go back inside for a second. All right, guys, we had to come back in the shop because it's really loud outside and I can't talk. But as you saw in the footage, we cut that tree up. I was able to make, what, four cuts at least, and it just went right through, nice and easy. Where before, with this old bar, I was having trouble getting the teeth to engage and bite into the wood. Plus, even when it was cutting, it was just going through at an angle. And like I said, I think the teeth, I think the chain where it rides in these grooves around the bar was just, this bar was no longer able to hold the chain straight. So if you're having the same kind of issues, if your saw is cutting crooked, if it's not cutting at all, even with a new blade, your bar just might be the issue. So if you guys found any of this information entertaining or informative or both, please consider giving me a like, a comment down below. Definitely subscribe to my channel. Once again, I'm Jason. This is Tennessee Mountain Homestead, and we'll see you on the next one.